Okay, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. This is the 1919 German expressionist thriller. Of course, this is also a silent film, and ironically, you can find it for free on YouTube. It technically is public domain in the United States, but still under copyright in Germany. Now, with this one being a silent movie, there is very, very minimal dialogue, and whenever you actually see it, it is written in a very bizarre style, normally with weird disjunctive, things in the background. The style of this movie is absolutely ridiculous. What makes this movie so unsettling, it's not really scary, it's just bizarre and unsettling, is the music and the way things are laid out. A room isn't just a square. There are like weird, sharp, disjunctive angles everywhere. The way this film looks is ridiculously beautiful for like early 1900s. When they show where Caligari lives, they show his house, it looks really small, the roof is like, sharply tilted, and the building's, done at an angle. There are multiple doorways that actually open like a triangle into the wall at an angle. So it's done really, really well. So what's it about? It's about Dr. Caligari, and inside his cabinet, he has a somnambulist, sleepwalker. And whenever he goes someplace, people kind of start dying. So there's your mystery. There is, of course, also a twist ending to it. However, if you actually read the synopsis on Netflix, it actually tells you the twist ending, which kind of sucked. But it's somebody who's telling the story about how all this stuff happened. And why this person is where he's at. And at the very end, it dovetails back into it, and it gives you all the truth behind it. I mentioned that to my wife, and she immediately went, "Oh, that's like this movie." Movie that we saw recently, about last year, that takes very, very similar concepts and made it into a much more modern movie. This movie has actually attempted to have a sequel, a prequel, and a remake. Ironically, none of them have ever actually happened. There was another one where I think that the Cabinet of Dr. Ramirez that was done for Sundance that was never officially released that follows the exact same sort of things but it's done in a current modern sense. So when it comes to seeing, 1900s German expressionist horror films, this is actually considered one of the first horror films ever created that's still around. Like I said, you can see it open source on YouTube. Don't expect to be like, really horribly frightened, but from the disjunctive music to the way the set design is done, do expect to be somewhat kind of creeped out. And that's actually makes the movie work fairly well. And that is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.